This is NBR Today. In a rare use of the Companies Act, an application has been made to ban an Auckland merchant banker from running a company for at least 10 years. Prominent lawyer Stephen Franks has given notice of the application targeting John Sorensen, who has been closely involved in backdoor listings including Plus SMS and TrueScreen. The notice cites comments from Justice John Fogarty describing actions by Mr Sorensen as opportunistic, deliberate, unfair and unprincipled, and abuse of his fiduciary obligations as a director and improper. The judge's remarks were made in a judgment on a long-running litigation involving Mr Sorensen and investor Michael Jacob, on whose behalf Mr Franks is seeking the banning order. Former Prime Minister Jim Bolger says now is the right time to introduce fair pay agreements to set minimum working conditions and wage rates. Mr Bolger, who chaired the Fair Pay Agreement Working Group, says industry-wide agreements in some sectors are needed to lift productivity. But Business New Zealand Chief Executive Kirk Hope, who was a member of the working group, says fair pay agreements would limit business flexibility. The former National Prime Minister believes it was right to introduce the Employment Contracts Act in 1991 to foster enterprise and individual bargaining. But he says times have changed and today is about working smarter, not harder.
But it'd be stupid to pretend that what worked and was necessary in the 1990s is identical to what you want in the 2020s. I mean, what I'm trying to get people to understand is that the world is moving faster than people's thinking, and that's a risk for New Zealand. We are a relatively isolated country, a long way from most, and if we don't move as quickly or faster than everybody else, then we're going to fall further behind.
Wellington investment fund manager Booster is expanding its wine group after buying Mahana Estates winery, which went into receivership. Booster, one of 9 government-appointed default KiwiSaver providers, has been supplementing listed shares in its portfolio with direct investment in productive local companies over the past 18 months. Managing Director Alan Yeo says they plan to continue to make Mahana's farm vineyard near Nelson a destination for locals and tourists. The group's other wine companies include Awatere River, WINERY Estates, Bannock Brae and Selene Estates. A further $263,000 in cryptocurrency has been stolen from under the noses of investigating police at Christchurch-based cryptocurrency exchange Cryptopia. The looting has now been going on for 16 days since it was first discovered, totalling $23 million worth of assets so far. The funds have been traced to the same wallet that stores the other stolen Cryptopia funds. The finding is the worst possible outcome for investors in the exchange, as it all but confirms an earlier suggestion that Cryptopia may have lost control of its Ethereum wallets. The person at the centre of a possible new political party says he still hasn't talked to any National Party MPs about the proposal. Vernon Tava has been touted as leader of a centrist environmental party that would offer support to the National Party come the next election. There have long been rumours of business interests keen to fund some sort of alternative party, potentially a Christian party or an environmental party shorn of the Green Party's social agenda. But even with such support, NBR's political editor Brent Edwards thinks it's a tough ask.
So, look, it's a tough ask for any new party. And the big question is there a constituency? I mean, everyone's been talking about this idea of a blue-green party for quite a while, for a long time, but nothing's ever emerged out of it. So if a party does emerge from this talk, it's going to, every party that's formed finds it really tough to breach that 5% party vote threshold needed to win seats in Parliament. So, it's a really long stretch to see it succeeding.
To tomorrow, Fiona Rotherham speaks to Eat My Lunch co-founder Lisa King, who's also a nominee for New Zealander of the Year. So just what's her business model delivering? So for more on that and other stories, head to our website and have a great evening.
To unlock your 2 free articles a week, head to nbr.co.nz.